So most online business owners skip doing this part, and that makes them have not so good of a results when it comes to their marketing strategies, the marketing campaign, and getting sales in their business. So the part they skip is to sit down and really figure out who is the ideal client and come up with a customer or ideal client profile. Right, so they just jump in there, start running ads without really thinking of who exactly they're trying to target, who is going to be the ideal client for their business. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how you can come up with an ideal client profile so that you get to know who exactly is that person you're trying to target with your products and services. Who are you wanting to become a customer at the end? So that's what I'm going to be covering in this video. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Rudo, and I help you get success with your online business. So as I mentioned, this whole video is to show you how you can come up with your ideal client, that way you really get to know who is that person you want to target, who is that person who's going to be the ideal client to buy your services or buy your products in your business. So to start off with, you need to think of what is their demography. So let's start off with that. So you have to think of who is that person you want to target? Are they female or male? What age group they're in? Where do they live? So you have to write down all those demographic information to start off with. But that's not the only thing that you have to think of. You also have to go into depth with who that person you want to target, besides knowing their age, their location, their gender, and all this stuff, right? Because I know most people, they don't go into depth of knowing or digging deeper to figure out who is that ideal client they are trying to attract, because they'll be thinking, oh, my products, my services is for everybody. No, your products are not for everybody. They're not for everybody. So you need to take some time, get a pen and paper and write down, brainstorm and think of who is that ideal client that you want to target with your offers. So when we figure out what is that demographic information about who that person you want to target, now you have to go into depth and to look at the psychographic profile of that ideal person. So to start off with, without making it more that complicated, because we're trying to make it simple for you, because I know if we make it complicated, you're going to feel so overwhelmed and not go through with it, right? Because that's, I guess, most people end up not coming up with their ideal client because they feel like, oh my gosh, it's a lot of work. But this is really important for you to figure out who that person is, because it comes really in handy when it comes to your marketing. Like if you're using your content to attract your ideal clients, you really need to know exactly, especially their psycho demography, right? So that you get to speak their language, so that you'll be able to attract them. That way they will see you, be like, okay, you know what I'm going through. You understand my frustration. So that's what you have to come up with. Write down where are they right now, which is point A, where they're starting off right now, right? They have their frustration. What are their frustration? What are the roadblocks they're facing right now? What are the challenges they're facing? What do they want to change in their life right now, right? So from that point A, because with your product or service, you're not taking them to a point B, right? Because your product or service is supposed to solve the problem, solve those frustration and headaches they're going through right now, and give them a result that they're looking for, which is point B. So point B is, where do they want to go from that point A to point B? Where do they want to go, right? What is their goals that they have? What are the desires they're wishing to have? What are they wanting to accomplish, right? So you have to think of now that part B. Where do they want to go? What are they hoping to achieve in their lives or businesses or whatever it is, right? So sit down and write all those points. So from point A, where they're frustrated, facing all these challenges, the roadblock or perceived roadblocks, right? It doesn't have to be a real one. It can be things what they feel like, oh, this is a roadblock, even though it's not a real roadblock, but that's what they believe right at that moment. So write down all those beliefs that they have, which is stopping them to get to point B, and then you write down that point B, where they want to get to, right? What does that mean for them? What kind of satisfaction that will give them, right? So you have to write all those stuff as well, because knowing all this frustration and the goals, you'll be able to even tailor your sales page, your copy of your sales page, if you were to tie in those frustrations and tie in those desires and goals they want. You'll get good results with your sales page, right? You'll be able to convert easily because you're speaking their language. You're showing them that you understand their frustration and then giving them what they want, right? The results, the goals they want to achieve, right? So yeah, so really take the time to do that and write it all down. And when you've done that, now start thinking of where are they right now? Where are they hanging out? Where they're spending most of their time on? Think of the social platforms where they're hanging out, right? Are they on Facebook or are they on Instagram? And who has their attention on those platforms, right? So if they're on Facebook, who are they following? What kind of groups are they hanging out in, right? So if it's like weight loss, are they following like Jillian Michaels? Who are they following, right? If it's like personal development, are they following Tony Robbins? If it's entrepreneurs, are they following like Gary Vee and all this stuff, right? Who has that attention right now? Who are they following right now? What kind of communities are they engaged in, right? So you have to write down all those people who they have the attention with. So all those influencers, write them down. And all those big brands also that they're following, who has their attention, you also need to write down, right? So if they're more into like Costco fans or Costco shoppers a lot, right? So write down that. If they're Amazon shoppers, write all that down, right? So who has their attention right now? And also look at the competitors in your field. Who else is providing that product that you're selling, and how are they meeting those frustration and how are they meeting on those frustrations for them, right? And what kind of promises are they giving to those ideal clients that you want to attract, right? That way, if there's something that they're not meeting, what they're not satisfying, then you can come in there and use your product to save that shortcoming that they're not really providing for them, right? For your ideal clients, because you've already understand what the problem they want, what are they frustrated, right? Because you can go through, like even on Amazon, if you were to look at the most popular books in your industry, right? Read the comments down there. What are they happy about? What are they still struggling with? What are they hoping they could have got more from that book, right? And that's the information you get to know really well your ideal clients, where they are, right? And what's still their frustration, and then you be able to then really understand them and be able to tailor your content, your ads, all that to satisfy them, to get them to that desired goal where they want to. So this is how you really get to know who your ideal client. So take that time to write down all this stuff so that you get to know your ideal client. And as I told you, knowing your ideal client becomes really important to be able to attract your ideal client, because they get to know you, right? They get to understand who you are and what you have to offer, and you're speaking their language because you are talking about where their frustration comes. Now you can use stories about how they can move someone from the frustration to the goals, right? And get to understand them on that customer journey where they are, to say, are they at the beginning or at the end, or the returning customers? That way you can really get to know your customers. So I hope these tips have been quite useful for you. You can now go out there being confident, knowing who is your ideal client. That way you can have more success in your business. You can get more sales, more clients, because you really know who your ideal client, you know who you're speaking to. Now you can be able to target those person with ease. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. So for now, stay strong, stay positive, and continue building your dream business. And I'll see you next time.